All right, you can't tell, but I've actually taped 6 of these videos today, so my mind's a little bit crazy right now. Today we're going to review / learn a couple new parts of graphing on a coordinate plane. This kind of goes along with like the equation things. We have already done this before, but we're going to do it with rational numbers, so it's going to be slightly harder. I mean, challenging. I mean, not so bad. I'm kidding, it's going to be harder. So a coordinate plane, I have 2 of them here. This is going to be the one I'm going to use for my notes. So you're going to write notes over that. This is the one you're going to use for your work. So coordinate plane is split into 4 sections called quadrants. You have quadrant 1. It looks like this usually. A Roman numeral. Quadrant 2, it kind of goes counterclockwise. Quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is not very visible. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Aside from having those 4 quadrants, you are going to have 2 lines here that are extremely important. The first line is a horizontal, and we're going to draw this symbol over horizontal so we know which way horizontal is. That should be an arrow. And that line is called the x-axis. That is something you should already know. So this is the x-axis. This line going straight across. The vertical line, and this one we're going to put right in between vertical and line, we're going to put that symbol, is the y-axis. That's going to be this line going up and down. When plotting, this should be a, no, it's an and, sorry, an ordered pair, which looks like this. 2 numbers in those parentheses. When plotting an ordered pair, you always graph the x-axis first, and I told you to remember the ladder. Christmas time is coming up, so let's think about my ladder analogy again. I told you last time we did coordinate planes that when someone is climbing a ladder to do something on the roof, like hang Christmas lights or clean the gutters, they have to move the ladder across the house first to get it where they want before they can climb up and down on it. Otherwise, they're going to be nowhere near where they're wanting to be. Because if your Christmas lights are here, and your ladder is here, and you climb up, you're not going to be anywhere near what you're looking at or wanting to look at. So we always move our ladder before we can climb up and down it. All right, here's where it gets tricky. You guys are always going to want to put things on a line, and you should know by now, not all points will be directly on a line. I'm going to go ahead and say when you're working with rational numbers, especially decimals and percents and fractions, you're pretty much never going to be on a line because fractions and decimals by their very nature fall in between 2 whole numbers. So they should always be between the lines. After you plot the point, you should label it. If they don't give you a label, like today we got labels to use like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, G. If they don't give it to you, you should just put the ordered pair over the top of it. Okay, for an example today, I'm going to do the first 2 of these with you, and then you're going to do the rest. Our job is to label the points with the letter, list the quadrant in which we find each ordered pair. So the first one I have 5 2/10, 2 5/10. Wow. Okay, so I'm already kind of confused probably. So I already should know 5. I'm going across first. I'm going to go to 5 2/10. In my head, I should know that 2/10 is much closer to 5, because it's closer to 0, than it's going to be to 6. If I had something like 5 7/10 here, I'd probably go closer to 6. But since I'm a real small number here, I'm going to stick pretty close to going over to 5, slightly over, so maybe about here. And then 2.5 I should recognize as 2.5, which means I should go up 2, and I should be halfway between the 2 and the 3, and slightly over the 5. And I'm going to label that point A. And I already know that this is in this quadrant, which is quadrant 1. All right, 3 1/4. negative 3 1/4, and then 4.7. Ooh, okay, so negative means I'm going to be going left, because I'm going to be going left or down anytime I see a negative. I'm going left right now because it's my first number, or the number on my x-axis. 3 1/4. 1/4 is going to be a quarter of the way between negative 3 and negative 4. Remembering I'm going towards the negative numbers, so I'm moving away from that number, so it's going to be right about here. 4.7, that means I'm going up because it's a positive. I'm going to go up to 4. And 0.7, it's not quite halfway between. It's not quite to 5, so it's probably going to be about here. And I'm going to label that one B. And I'm going to write down that it's in quadrant 2. Notice your spots, your plots, and my points are not going to be exactly right or exactly perfect or exactly equal on the graph, but they should be pretty darn close. So you guys have, what, 5 left for you to try. Graph them the best you can. Write down the quadrant they're in, and we'll go over it tomorrow. Have a good night.